I'm Jan Ward, and this is my husband, Dan, and we're the primary caregivers for my mother, Leila Crutchfield.
The husband died when I was still his chaplain, and when I left the hospice sometime later, his wife was diagnosed with terminal cancer and became a hospice patient herself.
My mother spoiled those dogs. She was their mom. They were literally her life.
When she really started to deteriorate, she expected Jan to give them the attention that she gave them. And not only was she trying to care for her mother, but was expected to do these special things that the dogs got all the time.
There actually came a point in time when they were considering finding the pets another home. I think that would have been devastating for her. My name is Reverend Delana Taylor McNack, and I am a deacon with Hakey Chapel Indian United Methodist Church here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So I started the Pet Peace of Mind program back in 2007 because I saw a need for trying to help patients and pets stay together during the time that a terminally ill patient is on hospice.
And she said, "No, what's going to happen when I die?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean what's going to happen?" I said, "You're going to go to heaven and, we'll see you someday." She goes, "No, you know what I mean. I'm talking about my dogs."
And so the hospice brought the dogs from an adjoining town and then would take them every day to visit her.
They were there the day before she passed away. They were so comforting to her. She knew that her dogs were taken care of, and she really appreciated that. I could not have done what I'd done for my mother and provided the level of care if I would not have had them and the Pet Peace of Mind program involved in helping take care of her dogs.
One of the things that I tell our new hospice coordinators about is how important pets are to children in the homes of hospice patients. A case in point is a family with a single mom and her 8-year-old son named Brady.
Grandpa's been sick, and he's been just sleeping in his room all day. And
Dad was in the hospital doing really bad, and the doctor said hospice is going to talk to you, and I was like, "Oh, really?"
He has like 6 months, I heard, yeah. And so it just feels kind of sad.
The stress of being a full-time caregiver. That's a lot for an 8-year-old to manage. But fortunately, they have a cat named Lucas.
My cat's not like any other cat. If I feel sad, then he comes up and plays with me, and it makes me feel happy again.
He just seems to sense that Dad's not feeling well, and he always seems like he wants to be in there with him and looking after him in a funny way.
Since I can't always be here because I got school, and then I like how just he goes in there and just lays with Grandpa since I can't.
And so Brady's mother, Donna, was faced with how to care for this cat that meant so much to her son.
He was at an age where he needed to be neutered, and it was something I definitely had to consider, and I was trying to figure out how am I going to get this done. If anybody out there knows what it's like to have a pet, they know that those things are not, they can be expensive, especially when you're on a strained budget.
Pet Peace of Mind came into the situation and offered to have the cat neutered and up to date on his vaccination so that they would be assured that he was healthy.
So it's been a huge burden lifted throughout this time.
His antics lightened the room. You would almost be able to forget for a while that there was going to be a loss in that home.
It'd just be really hard to live without him.
Hospice patients unfortunately find themselves having to deal with everybody else's reaction to their illness. People come to visit them who are actively grieving, and the patient is put in a position where they have to be the one to comfort people. So to have someone in their lives who doesn't respond to that, who treats them the same as they always have, who doesn't care if they're having a good day or a bad day, is a very important spiritual and emotional resource for a dying patient. What we want to do is help hospices see that pets are part of the family. We have in mind changing the face of hospice care in the same way that our culture has changed, so that when people consider pets important to their well-being, that hospices understand that and have the resources that they need to make that happen.
This video was brought to you by the people of the United Methodist Church through World Service donations.